Some stories survive in official records. Others survive only in whispers. This is one of them. North Korea, one of the most sealed countries on Earth. A place where leaving can cost your life. For decades, thousands tried to escape. Many disappeared. Some were executed. Others were dragged back across the border, never to be seen again. But in 2023, one family attempted something almost impossible. Not one person, not two. 9 people, including children and a pregnant woman. They would flee North Korea by sea after nearly 10 years of secret planning. Imagine spending 10 years planning a single night. Inside North Korea, fear is everywhere. Citizens are watched constantly. Phones are monitored. Travel is restricted. Even conversations can be dangerous. In North Korea, even ordinary life is controlled. Most citizens cannot freely own cars. Internet access is heavily restricted. Television channels are controlled by the state. And even approved hairstyles have reportedly been regulated by the government. Individuality itself becomes suspicious. There are laws about speech, laws about travel, laws about clothing, laws about media consumption, laws about music, and laws about what can safely be said aloud. One wrong sentence can destroy an entire family's future. In some countries, prison has walls. In others, the walls exist inside people's minds. For this family, survival meant silence. Years of pretending, years of waiting, years of hiding a single dangerous thought: escape. The most dangerous thing in a controlled society is a person imagining another life. According to reports, the father began planning years earlier, quietly, carefully. One mistake could destroy the entire family. So the plan remained hidden. No sudden movements, no suspicious behavior, no trusting outsiders. The sea became their only hope. Not the heavily guarded border, not the minefields, the ocean, cold, unpredictable, deadly, but less watched. History rarely notices the moment before someone runs. The final dinner, the final glance at home, the final night pretending everything is normal. For years, they prepared in silence. Money, timing, routes, weather, every detail mattered. Because failure would not mean prison for one person. In North Korea, punishment can spread across generations. Parents, children, relatives, everyone could suffer. One child reportedly believed they were simply going on a fishing trip. Too young to understand what was at stake. The family could carry almost nothing. No photographs, no keepsakes, only enough supplies to survive. So they waited and waited until finally the night arrived. Under darkness, the family moved. 9 people, one small boat. No certainty, no guarantee they would survive, only hope. The sea around them was black. The coastline behind them slowly disappeared. Ahead, South Korea. But between them stood danger, storms, military patrols, detection, and the terrifying possibility of being caught alive. No one spoke, because fear itself had become louder than words. Hours passed. Waves slammed against the boat. Children remained silent. Adults watched the horizon nervously. The pregnant woman sat among them, carrying not only fear, but another life. At any moment, everything could collapse. One patrol, one engine failure, one mistake, and the ocean would become a prison or a grave. The ocean does not care about politics. It does not care about borders. It only asks one question: will you survive? Then, after hours at sea, They were discovered by South Korean authorities, alive, exhausted, but alive. For the first time in years, they were no longer trapped inside North Korea. The escape shocked many observers because large family defections by sea are extremely rare, especially with children, especially with so many people, especially after such careful secrecy. Sometimes freedom does not arrive with celebration. Sometimes it arrives quietly at dawn. To outsiders, escape stories can sound unbelievable. Why risk death? Why risk the ocean? Why risk losing everything? Because sometimes staying feels even more dangerous. Defectors have described hunger, fear, isolation, punishment, a life where even small freedoms do not exist. Imagine living in a place where the government controls, the news you hear, the haircut you wear, the city you can visit, the music you are allowed to listen to, and sometimes even the thoughts you are allowed to speak aloud. Every dictatorship fears the same thing. Not armies, not weapons, but ordinary people, deciding they have nothing left to lose. But escaping is only the beginning. Many defectors struggle for years after arriving in South Korea. New language differences, new systems, new technology, and the emotional weight of everything left behind. Some never see relatives again. Some live with constant fear. Others remain haunted by the memory of the country they escaped. Freedom can arrive with scars. A person can escape a country, but memories are much harder to leave behind. One small boat, 9 people, 10 years of silence, and one desperate journey across dark water. In another world, it would simply be called migration. But in North Korea, it becomes something far more dangerous, an act of defiance, an act of survival, and a reminder that even in the most controlled places on Earth, some people still dare to run. Some stories are hidden by walls, others by oceans. Even the most sealed borders in the world cannot completely imprison hope. If this story stayed with you, subscribe, turn on notifications, and join me for more forgotten histories hidden beneath the surface of our world. And tell me below, if escape meant risking the ocean, would you have stayed behind or dared to run into the darkness? Thank you for watching.